All right. Howdy, everyone. Hope you are doing well. All right, let's bring up my pretty face here. Howdy do. It's your boy, Rafaelito, coming to you live once again from the, I guess, what do you call this? Studio? HFM Studios. Welcome. My name's Ralph. For those that don't know me, you may know me by my fake little internet name or whatever. You may have seen the bald head quite a bit show up on your algorithm because you're probably, reading a lot about, we're watching a lot of stuff about relationship things. And if you're a dude going through a divorce, and if you're trying to fix your broken marriage, or you're a gal that likes to read about that kind of stuff or watch videos about that kind of stuff, I'm sure I've shown up a time or two on your old algorithm there under the name of Dad Starting Over. I've been creating content, videos, started off articles, blog, books, as you can see behind me here, under the name of Dad Starting Over for over a decade now. We started our larger organization called Help for Men a couple of years ago now or so, and we have a private community just for men called the Brotherhood. And if you're a dude, I encourage you to all check it out. We've had a good month this month for guys signing up, so thank you everybody for that. Let me see. Well, where's my? Oh, here we go. All right, so let me put this up here. All right, we have a special going on right now in honor of. We reached a big milestone of 200,000 followers on the Dad Starting Over account on Facebook. So in honor of that, you can join our Brotherhood community at helpformen.com/join. And when you go to checkout, you can pick any of our packages. You can pay month to month, you can pay annually, or you can do a one-time lifetime membership payment. Any of those, if you use the coupon code 200 in the letter K, 200K, at checkout, you get 30% off of the membership. Yes, there is a fee involved for becoming a member. If you can tell me how to do all this shit for free, I'm all ears. But we have a pretty big nut to cover every month. It's a growing organization, and we offer a lot in terms of benefits, including very active private forums, live Zoom meetings of which I and others host. We have over 1,300 hours of live Zoom meetings recorded at this point that you can listen to. Yes, we catalog them, and we give our members an easy opportunity or the opportunity to easily listen to the meeting recordings. And then we get together in person. We have conferences annually in the United States as well as Australia. We offer coaching one-on-one. There's one price for the general public, and then there's a price for our Brotherhood members. Brotherhood members, a lot cheaper. You can talk to me one-on-one, other guys on the team. And what else do we do? All my books that I mentioned, all at no additional charge to our members, as well as Austin's book. Austin has a book called Why Sex Ends After Kids and How to Fix It. You get the PDF version and audiobook version of all my books, no additional charge. Pretty cool. What else do we offer for our members? Brotherhood, love, all kinds of good stuff. So I encourage you guys to check it out. helpformen.com/join. Coupon code 200K, 30% off. Let me put in the comments here so you guys can just click on it. Boom. There we go. And let me get my glasses out here, make sure I can read any comments you guys have coming through here. I invite you all to say, hey, howdy. Let me know where you're joining from if you are watching us today. And I'll be happy to chat with you. Anything you guys want to talk about, that's what I'm here for. This is not a let's tune in and listen to Ralph talk some more. This is let's tune in. And now that I got the dude sitting here in front of me live in person, that's not right, via the internet, live, face, audio, the whole 9 yards, why don't I ask him a question or run this by him and see what he thinks? If for some reason, some odd reason, you value my opinion on such matters, now's the time to take advantage of that and say, hey, howdy. Let me know where you're from. Ask away. All that good stuff. All right. What else we got going on here? Let me see. Other banners I have going on here. Behind me, you'll see 3 books, and one of those books is my most popular book by a long shot. And that book is called The Dead Bedroom Fix. And you can learn more at deadbedroomfix.com. As the name implies, it's about sexless marriages. And it's from the male point of view, as the male being the victim, if you will. And it talks about things you can do to bring the spark back to the relationship. And why am I talking about that? Because that is, of all the topics I've ever talked about, ever, in the decade plus that I've been doing this, I could talk about finances. I could talk about fitness. I could talk about being a parent. I could talk about whatever. It's not until I talk about, hey, you guys ever notice that sex tends to go down once you get married? And for some of you, it becomes just dead. The world takes notice and says, please tell us more. Talk about how can we fix this? This is the worst thing imaginable. So of all the pain points in life, married life, let's be fair, for men, that's number one. And that's very surprising to a lot of ladies to hear that. But yeah, that's how important it is to us. So much so that I've sold hundreds of thousands of copies of this book as a self-published book. And the number two most frequently talked about topic is infidelity on the part of women cheating, in other words. So dead bedrooms, women cheating, those are the number one and number two biggest topics that I talk about. I happen to have, I'm going to create a little banner here real quick. Bear with me. I have, I don't talk about them enough, but they're pretty darn good if I do say so myself. We have some free courses, free, meaning there's zero cost to taking them. And by course, I mean a series of videos that you can watch. In addition to the series of videos you can watch to take this online free course, I also give you a free book. I mean, how cool is that? So, for example, deadbedroomfixcourse.com. Go to that, deadbedroomfixcourse.com. I believe there are 9 videos in total, me talking all about the topic of dead bedrooms and all that good stuff. It's a good video companion to the book, The Dead Bedroom Fix. But if you're like, Ralph, I haven't read The Dead Bedroom Fix yet, well, guess what? I give you a PDF copy, an ebook copy, at no additional charge. Take the course, deadbedroomfix.com. You get the book. And then, yes, we will email you and say, would you like to join our group now, the Brotherhood? Talk amongst other guys and have meetings all about this subject. Deadbedroomfixcourse.com. Check it out. And we also have another course that is free, much smaller, just a few videos. But this one really, really hits hard for a lot of guys. mywifecheated.com. Go to that. And I have a course called So Your Wife Cheated. And 2 big issues, the old dead bedroom, the old sexless marriage, and infidelity. And we have a course on both. Deadbedroomfixcourse.com and mywifecheated.com. What else do we have going on? We have talk about the annual conference in the United States. We call it BroFest, B-R-O, BroFest. The 5th one is coming up here. 5th annual conference is coming up here in Charleston, South Carolina. It's already been sold out for a while, so sorry guys, you can't join us there. But next year we're already planning. We already have the location, Louisville, Kentucky. We already have the venue for doing the presentations and workshops and everything else where we'll hang out for the bulk of the day. And we already have some special guests lined up, including Lauren the Dadvocate, Dr. Robert Glover, Adam Nitsenson, the Betrayal Shrink, myself, other guys will all be there in person. Hang out with us for the weekend. It's a Friday and a Saturday all day. Louisville, Kentucky, March 27 and 28 of 2026. And you can sign up for that bad boy at brofest2026.com. That's brofest2026.com. We would love for you guys to be there with us. Let me put it in the chat as well so you guys can just click it and go learn more about it. So sign up, reserve your spot today. We would love to have you. brofest2026.com. Meet Lauren, meet Robert, Adam, and myself. All right. And a bunch of other fellow bros. And here in a couple of weeks, we're meeting in Charleston. Like I said, it's already sold out. Sorry, guys. But it's going to be cool. We're going to have a spot right on the beach to do our little seminars, workshops, presentations, whatever you want to call it. Hang out for lunch, dinner, drinks afterward. It's going to be awesome. So really looking forward to it. And we got Mr. Mike saying hi from the UK. Love Lauren the Dadvocate. Very cool. Mike, why don't you make the flight? Join us. Hang out with myself and Lauren for a weekend. That'd be cool. I laugh, but here for BroFest Charleston, I believe we have 1, maybe 2 gentlemen coming from overseas to join us. One for sure. Yeah, one for sure. And he's from the UK. So he's coming to join us. That'd be cool. And we have had Steve came all the way from Australia a couple of years ago and joined us in Las Vegas. We always have a few Canadians. We have guys from all over. In our Brotherhood group, USA, number 1, obviously, as far as the locations, and number 2 is Australia, strangely. And number 3 is Canada. And I'm not sure where the UK falls in that, but those are our 3 big markets there. So we are all over. We'd love to have you, Mr. Mike. In case I didn't mention it, this is open to non-members. You don't have to be a member to join us. brofest2026.com. Check it out. Ladies and germs. Let me put this back on the screen here. Where's my banners? Banners? There we go. Join us, the Brotherhood. Get 30% off today. Coupon code 200K. All right. Where's everybody else from? I know we got more people watching us other than Mr. Mike. So we'd love to have you join us. What else we got going on? I'm going to do a live seminar, online seminar, all about the dead bedroom stuff coming up. I can take questions, ask questions, all that good stuff. And that's coming up here in May. Have I picked a date for that? I just haven't put it all together yet. Maybe you just want to pencil in on May 9th. I'm going to do it like at 12 o'clock noon Eastern time is the one I'm looking for. I haven't set it all up yet, but that'll be announced here soon. So just a sneak peek for you guys on the live stream here. And trying to think if there's anything else going on. Guys, I'm kind of at the mercy of you dudes. Give me questions, please. I'm all ears. We had a really good live session yesterday where it was just question after question. And I love the back and forth. So we got Sanha. That's a cool name, Sanha. He says, hi, Ralph. Well, hello, Sanha from YouTube. He says, I'm having some issues with my wife. I think the main problem is because she is depressed. Do you think couples therapy can help? I don't see why not. I mean, if you're worried about her and she's genuinely depressed, she's going to need help from somebody other than you. You can't fix her out alone. So either she goes to like your general practitioner and says, family physician, as we say, and says, I think I may be depressed. Help me out here. Refer me to somebody who can help me. Psychiatrist, psychologist, family doctor. The couples therapy may point to some things, and you may say this is, if she's very resistant, often in a lot of women in these cases, there's a great deal of shame around for men and women both. Mental illness, I guess you could say, any kind of mental difficulty. And she may feel like if I raise my hand and say I need help, that makes me a worse mother, worse wife, I'm a terrible person, everyone will hate me, blah, blah. And she just needs reassurance that no, it's fine. We all go through our ups and downs. You're just having a down right now. Let's get you some help. Let's get on top of this. And maybe that takes a third party person like a counselor or therapist to go, some of the things you're saying here, Miss Sanha, Mrs. Sanha, are not good. And they point to potentially some depression. Let's get that figured out and get that fixed. So I don't see why there'd be any hesitation on your part to get that done. Is she hesitant to do that? Is that something that she's like, I don't want to go to a therapist. I'm not depressed. That's tough. It's something we don't talk a lot about. A lot of people throw out things such as, wives often suffer from postpartum, and sometimes the postpartum progresses years down the line. It's nothing they quite get over, and it's just all kinds of a mess. The follow up to that is what we don't talk about is that a lot of men say, I know, I've been trying to get her help. She is very resistant. She will not admit fault of any kind. Often the guys, again, I've said this bazillions of times, anxious dudes married to very avoidant women. The avoidant women do not want to go talk about their problems with some stranger, some counselor or whatever, let alone their husband or anybody else. And so that's a tough nut to crack. They're like, I don't have a problem. When very obviously they sit around a lot, they sleep a lot, they don't want to do anything, they have no joy out of anything anymore in life. It's very obviously like depression 101. And they're just very resistant getting help. And there's really nothing you can do other than sometimes it's the old, you're about to lose your family over this. Like, this is no way to go through life. I've been trying to help you. I've been at this for months and months, and you won't get any help. You go get help, or else. That's sometimes the thing that gets it done. But what's heartbreaking is sometimes they choose their depression and their neuroses, if you will, over that of their husband, their family. It sucks, but that's true. So you're saying yes. Hell, I don't even remember what I asked you. Yes to she's hesitant to get help. That sucks. But sorry to hear that. Let's hope we can get her better. Let me know if there's anything I can help you out with. I am not a clinical whatever anything, so I'm not a psychiatrist, psychologist, but I can certainly help point you in the right direction. Maybe a Dr. Psych Mom would be able to help. Dr. Samantha Rodman Whiten. If you are not following her already, you should be. Dr. Psych Mom, check her out. She is a psychologist, therapist. And I said, yeah, she's hesitant to get help. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. She's going to need it. If she wants to keep her, I assume you got kiddos and all that stuff, keep that family unit together. Often the big driver for a lot of women that exhibit these kind of signs, depression, or you're not quite sure what's going on. She's not herself. She's certainly not attached to you in any way, shape, or form, all that good stuff. Often the thing that gets them going, so to speak, is the husband pointing out things related to the children. You're setting a bad model for the children. This is what they think that mothers do, that mothers are depressed, and that's okay. And then guess what? They will do the same down the line, or they will marry somebody who's the same. And so you're just helping to perpetuate some kind of dysfunctional way of living, or dysfunctional way of having, carrying on in a relationship, all the way to you're about to lose your family. You're going to lose time with your children and divorce. You're going to break up a family. You're going to break their heart. And that's sometimes the thing that gets them over the hump and doing better, which is kind of heartbreaking, because we as men in these situations hope that saying, you're about to lose me, your husband, will be enough. Often the depressed, avoidant, sometimes person says, fine, adios, get out of here then, which sucks. Mr. Frank says, good stuff, Ralph. Well, great stuff, Ralph. Excuse me. Thanks for what you do. Well, thank you, Mr. Frank. Is that Frank Sinatra? Oh, no, Frank Sana. I won't read your name out loud for the recording of this. Frank S., but it looks like Sinatra. I was like, oh, it's him. He's back. Cool. Thank you, Mr. Frank. I appreciate that. Anything else, guys? Please don't be shy. I've been getting more and more Dear DSO submissions. Do I have a little banner for that deal there? Yes, I do. You can go to deardso.com, fill out the form, submit a story or a question, and if it's good, I will create a video out of it and answer it and then talk for about 10, 15 minutes all about it. You can also opt to actually click on the little thing that says, I want to talk to Ralph live, and we'll record a video where they just see me, but they hear you, kind of like a radio call-in show. And we'll do back and forth. And I've done 4 of them now so far, I think, 3 or 4. And they've each been about an hour in length. Goes by fast. And some of my favorite videos. So check out the Dad Starting Over YouTube channel, Dad Starting Over YouTube channel. And you'll see I just recently did one with Victoria. And I got another one that needs to be edited and it will be uploaded here soon and scheduled on YouTube. But I really love doing those. So maybe you'd like to do that at deardso.com. Check it out. Fill out the form. But I love it. So I've been doing more and more of those. A lot of people filling out that form and giving me lots of good content to talk about. And the depression thing is probably something I hear, you wonder if it's just a coincidence or whatever, but I'm hearing it more now, more so than ever. And, when you have a lot of like political and economic upheaval and wars and things going on, some people, arguably more so the women in our lives, are very sensitive to that. And they may take that very hard, and that affects a lot of other things in their life. I can't tell you how many men, even if the men themselves are politically inclined against the current, in the other way, opposite way of the current administration, even those men are like, my guy didn't win the election, is what it is, moving on, let's do the best we can, oh well. But the wife, who's of the same political persuasion as he is, took the whole last election cycle very, very hard. And this is like almost ruined marriages, where the guy's like, that's all she talks about. She like cries over this. She's like obsessed with news stories about this and watching YouTube videos about this and listening to podcasts all about the election and how terrible the president is. And she's just hyper infatuated, obsessed with this topic of the world is ending and politics. And the guy's just like, I've lived for decades. I've seen bad people come and go, horrible politicians, recessions, depressions. I've seen it all. We'll be fine. And wife's like, the end of the world. I'm hearing more and more of that here lately. So kind of interesting. I don't know, maybe Mr. Sonho. I don't know if that rings a bell for you or not. Maybe that has something to do with your situation, but I'm hearing that quite a bit. And, but I would say the majority of Dear DSO things that I hear are from guys that are just heartbroken over the fact that their wife has seemingly given up on them as a couple. Him in particular as the husband, but just them as a couple. And sometimes the women are pretty nasty about it. Pretty like, yeah, dude, we as a couple are done, but we're just going to hang out and do what we can to raise this family. But as far as you and I are concerned, it ain't happening no more. And it's heartbreaking. And some of these poor guys are in a certain situation where financially if they leave, they're ruined. She has said, if you try to leave or do something, I have the resources at my disposal to ruin you and all these other good things. And it's tough, man. It's really easy for us guys to say, like Mr. Tom here saying, piss on him. Easy for us to say, Tom, piss on him, he says here in the comments. Like, screw them. Forget those women. Well, but, when some of you have you by the short and curlies, as we say, and, they do have the capability of ruining you financially and otherwise. Oof, that's tough, man. So you got to feel sorry for those guys. We were talking about this just yesterday in our brotherhood meeting. I host 3 meetings myself, 3 live Zoom meetings. So we talk back and forth with brotherhood members and myself. Let me bring this so you guys know what the heck I'm talking about. Brotherhood. There's the offer right there. helpformen.com/join. Join us. Anyway, we had a meeting yesterday, and the topic of in a roundabout way, we got around to the issue of how to minimize chances of catastrophic relationship failure from a man's point of view. And I have I guess you could say, either the benefit or the unfortunate circumstance of talking to a lot of men who have gone down the wrong road when it comes to marriage and all that good stuff. In other words, I talk to a lot of guys who've been ruined by picking the wrong gal and committing to the wrong gal and having kids with the wrong gal. And you listen to these stories, you're like, holy shit. Well, you hear that enough, you start to learn from them, like what to do and what not to do. And one of the things that I have learned, probably going to piss some people off, is what it is. But this is my, it's my interpretation of all these things that I've heard. One is try not to marry a gal who makes a great deal less money than you. You want a gal with some kind of career aspiration, money aspiration. They can take care of herself if needs to. And also the importance of something like a prenuptial agreement, which says, in the case of us splitting up down the line, here's what happens to assets and debts, and spell it all out. It can be like a 1-2 page deal. That's it. I'm all about those 2 things. And we even had guys like, would you marry, for some reason, this is the example I often give. Would you marry a gal who you dated and fell in love with, but she's like the cashier at Walmart? So I don't know if it's a minimum wage job, just minimum wage job of some kind. No career aspirations, no nothing, but she wants to get married and have kids. And I say, no, I'm sorry. Number one, intellectually and emotionally, maybe I wouldn't have much in common with that gal. No offense to the Walmart cashier type, but I tend to, I guess, be with people that have more aspirations in life, more ambition. So that's one negative. But the other negative is, let's say I do fall in love, no prenuptial agreement, and we have some kids, and then literally shortly thereafter, she can decide on her own unilaterally, we're done. We're not going to be a couple anymore. And I'm going to make it very difficult for you to see your children. You're going to have to fight me in court if you want to accomplish that. And I'm going to take half your assets, if not more. And you're going to have to pay me a regular monthly stipend of child support and potentially alimony and other things. And, hearing all that, you're like, no, thank you. How can I stop that from happening? Well, get with a gal that makes, around the same amount you do or more. That sounds cold, doesn't it? But I'll tell you what, for as much people may say, Ralph, dude, that's very cold and insensitive of you. I've taken a book from Our Ladies. I've taken a page from the book of Our Ladies and their mating behavior. We can learn a thing or two from your typical, not every gal, but typical gal who's like, I'll tell you what I want in a man. I want this, and this. And he can't veer from these 4, 5, 12, 97 things. And if he doesn't have all that, then he's just not going to be my mate. Sorry. There's something to be learned from that. This is a major, holy shit decision to bring somebody into your life, call them your spouse, have children with them. You got to make sure you're making the right decision. Romance and all, again, got dick to do with it. It's the romance thing is fine. The infatuation, lustfulness, falling in love, all that good stuff is awesome, amazing. That's what gets us hooked to each other. But once you're past that phase, once you get to know them for a while, which is why it's important, date them for around 3 years before you tie the knot, move in, all that good stuff. You got to start thinking about this pragmatically, rationally. This is a legal binding union here. This is a financial union. Let's make sure I don't get screwed. You don't get screwed. How are we going to do that? That's how you approach these things. And a lot of people disagree with me on that, unfortunately. Sonho asks, are the meetings on a regular time? I need to sign up to the community, but I haven't had the time, but I will do soon. Oh, cool. Thank you. Yes. Mine, for example, my live meetings for our members are every, unless there's some holiday or travel or something that I can't do it. Like, for example, into this month, we have our Bro Fest, so that interferes with my meetings that week. But typically it's every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at noon Eastern time, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, noon Eastern time. And then we have Coach Gus, Jason, Austin, and Vance, and Steve, Scott, all host their own meetings as well. And as far as the regularity of those, depends on their own schedule. I know for sure mine are at a certain time, but I'll have to go back and see if they're consistent time. But yeah, they're pretty consistent on the times. So, and again, if you miss one, you can always listen to the recordings. And if you're listening to this or watching this and you're from Australia, we have Coach Steve is from Australia, and he hosts meetings more so on your time frame. So pretty cool. We try to get everybody covered. So good question. Thank you. Anything else, ladies and germs? Been about a half hour already. Wow. These things go by fast. I am open to any and all questions. Please don't be shy. I'm here for you, ladies and germs. All right. If not, guys, I will call it quits. Do me a favor before I do so. Go over to YouTube. Go to Dad Starting Over on YouTube. Find some videos and like them. Subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment or two. YouTube ain't liking me too much right now. It's funny. The videos get like a small number of views, and of those small number of views, a relatively large number of comments and likes. So that would seem to say, like, show this to more people, but it just doesn't. Every once in a blue moon, one of them will take off. I've had videos hit hundreds of thousands and so forth, but lately it's just been hundreds. Ugh, sucks. Maybe a few thousand if I'm lucky. So help me out here. Let's coach YouTube into saying, like, this Dad Starting Over account is worth sharing with the rest of the world. And then I have another account. Let me, you know what? Instead of just describing, let me just put the links here, if I may. Bear with me, typing music. Here's the Dad Starting Over page, youtube.com/Dad Starting Over. And Real Help for Men. Real Help for Men is the tag, whatever you call that. Yeah, for YouTube. And for Dad Starting Over, you don't need the little @ You can put that, but you don't need that, because I got in before all the little @ things started taking off. The handle is the word I'm looking for. This the handle for Real Help for Men, Help for Men channel. Help for Men channel is all about interviews. And I recently did an interview with Michelle Langley, author of Women's Infidelity, Part 1 and 2. And that has taken off. It's done very well. So she's a good interview. And we are doing a live here next month. So in YouTube on the Dad Starting Over channel, go to the little live tab and you should see a schedule of all the live events coming up. And I'm going to try and keep that filled up. And these are being simulcast that I'm doing here also on the Help for Men channel. So welcome everybody who's on the Help for Men channel. Appreciate you. Thank you so very much. And then, in fact, I should jump over there to make sure I'm not missing any. Let me mute that so you guys don't hear an echo. Oh, man, maybe I'm not. I thought I was. Don't see it. Maybe it's not working. That sucks. I'm supposed to be live over on Help for Men right now. Wow. That sucks. Anywho, I have to figure that out. What's going on there? But anywho, there's I saw somebody come up. I missed him. Oh, Mr. Irv says, "What's up, Ralph?" Hello, Mr. Irv is a member of our community, the Help for Men Brotherhood community. Welcome, Mr. Irv. And he will be attending the Brofest coming up in Louisville because it's right next door to him. He lives in Kentucky. So very cool. If there's nothing else, guys, I'm going to call her quits. Thank you all so very much. Appreciate all of you. Thank you for joining me here today. Helpformen.com. Go to the Brotherhood, helpformen.com/join. Coupon code 200K. Get 30% off. I'm not going to see that very often. So take advantage of it while you can. a little biased, but I happen to think it's the best thing going today as far as a support community for men. A lot of avenues and resources for getting help that you need. I don't care if I'm in the middle of a shitty marriage. I'm trying to turn this marriage around. I'm divorced and going through it. I'm working on the dating thing. I ain't never been in a long-term relationship. I'd like to resolve that, whatever it may be. In the relationship-oriented sphere, I guess you could say, if we had to encapsulate it, just men trying to do better in life, to be more broad term. The Brotherhood at helpformen.com. Check it out. Guys, thank you all so very much. Catch you tomorrow. My chat with Adam Nissenson, the Betrayal Shrink. Please join us. I think it'll be a good one. We're going to talk about people trying to stick together and work through the betrayal of infidelity. Ooh, controversial topic. All right, guys. See you then. Have a good one.